There's a boatload of things to do in Minecraft. You can explore dusty old ruins, tackle ocean monuments underwater, or build your dream creations. But for those of us who love RPG games and going on tough, inspiring adventures and taking up quests, perhaps mods that overhaul the game in a more fantasy way would be suitable. The Flying Things. First up is the mod The Flying Things that adds some awesome new means of travelling in your world via enchanted brooms or magic carpets. You can control your flying piece by first crafting them. You will need to obtain a Heart of the Sea or a file of animation. You can also recolour the brooms by dyeing them, and you can remove the dye with a wet sponge. You can control these flying objects pretty simply by using the forward key in the correct direction that you aim with your mouse, and dismount them just like you would on a horse by using the sneak key. Once you dismount, it will return to your inventory. When you ride one of the flying objects, you'll have two new bars, one which is to show your energy and the other which is speed. When you fly, the energy decreases, which causes the flying speed to be reduced. When you stop flying, this energy is recovered and regened. You can also regen energy by flying over big red mushrooms on a broom or soul sand on a carpet. This is a cool little mod if you want some new ways to get around your world without modernizing the game too much by adding futuristic vehicles. RPG HUD. The Minecraft HUD, aka the heads-up display, is the visual features on your screen such as your inventory, potion displays, and health and oxygen. Minecraft's default HUD is very bare bones and basic, and with the theme of turning the game into more of an adventure in today's video, the RPG HUD mod is something you're definitely going to want. This mod changes your HUD by adding some new features to it and making it look much more clean and a bunch better than the vanilla look does. You'll have all of the standard features and displays from the original game, but everything just looks neater and is placed in a better fashion. The XP bar is now a clean yellow bar at the bottom, and the tiled inventory display looks a lot better too. The health and the other stats are displayed in the top left with a picture of your character in an MMORPG game style look, which I really like as well. Then there's the armor alongside it with its durability for each piece being displayed on the left hand side too. If you look at a mob, it will also display the mob's health and an icon of it just like some other mods do, so it's more of like a 2-in-1 mod. I really like the look of this mod personally, and I think it's a real enhancement to how the game looks, and if you're trying to bring an RPG style, then it's a really good addition to your game. Pandoras Creatures. How could I make an RPG and adventure style video without adding a mod that brings you tons of high quality mobs? Pandoras Creatures brings us a collection of brand new mobs to the game, although it adds a pretty small amount, but what it makes up for in lack of quantity is the quality. All of these mobs have custom models and some impressive looking animations along with them that make them really stand out. There is the Arachnon, which is a golem like spider that spawns at night in the plains and mountains, which also drops crystals that lets you craft a strong Arachnon hammer, which you can use to break 3x3 block areas. Then there's the crab, which spawns on beaches and in warm oceans, and you can obtain crab meat by killing them, and if you right click on them with a bucket of water, you can put them in a bucket just like you do with tropical fish. If you play music on a jukebox nearby, the crabs will dance to it just like parrots do, which is a nice little Easter egg. There's also seahorses that spawn in normal ocean and lukewarm ocean biomes. These have 10 different colour variants and 5 sizes, making 55 different looks for them. You can pick them up with a water bucket and they drop raw seahorse. The acidic archvine is a plant spawning in jungles in the nether, which grab players who walk close to them, then drags them towards it to digest it. The bufflon is a bull looking creature which spawns in cold and snowy biomes, which you can tame with a herb bundle which you have to craft, and then use it to carry players on its back or materials and items. You do this by using various different saddles. This is dependent on the attachment type you use, which are the different saddles to ride it with. Player seats to carry 2 more players, or a small storage which you can carry items and 1 player with. There's also a large saddle that lets you gain maximum item storage too. In the nether there's the hellhound, which is hostile and moves in packs, and they're completely fire immune, with some being bigger and stronger, which are the wither hellhound types. Then there's the end troll, which is in the end, which is an imprisoned creature that drops pieces of its skin when you defeat it. You can then make these into end troll boxes. The prison structure that these lurk inside are found randomly around the end, just like you would for the end city structures. Goblin Traders. Another mod that adds a new mob to the game. This is a cute little mod that I'm sure a lot of you will like. This simple little mod adds brand new Goblin Traders to the world, which are found underground in the cave systems. These little guys can sell you rare or special items that you would usually find hard or impossible to obtain. When trading with a goblin, you can obtain a higher level enchanted book than the enchant that you usually would be allowed to use. They perform in a very similar way to how the wandering traders do in game, and they spawn near a player in the overworld. You can get items like an enchanted diamond pickaxe, zombie villager spawn eggs, XP bottles and more. This is a cool mod to check out if you want to have more interactive mobs in the game and unlock a few new trades. Savage and Ravage. For those of us who loved the new content added in the Minecraft 1.14 Village and Pillage update, then this mod will be a good addition to the collection. This is a mod that tries to be vanilla friendly by improving and adding illager related content in the game by bringing some new mobs, structures and challenges with it. It improves upon the raid starting mechanic, changes the mobs to pillagers and adds some new creeper features. There's a new firework pillager, the ability to burn banners, a complete redesign of the pillager outpost tower structure, a new skeleton villager added, as well as new creeper spores and griefer armor, which is from the new griefer mob. And there's also a new block called gloomy tiles, which look nice to decorate with, along with some new illager textures to some of the mobs. Doggy Talents. If you're like some of us who have 1,000 dogs or cats in your world, then this mod expanding the dog pet system in the game should be fun for all of the dog lovers out there watching the video. This mod includes 19 new unique talents which you can give your pet in game, a new dog leveling system, the ability to play catch, new dye colours which are available for the collars, as well as new fancy colour types, new beds and food bowls, radio collars to track the dogs with a radar, better AI behaviour from the wolf mobs, a brand new hunger system and a few more cool features. There's a lot of new content added in this mod which is awesome. To get a dog, first of all you just use a training treat on a pre-tamed wolf, or use a doggy charm if you're in creative mode. If you want dog training in Minecraft or dog beds to place in your home for them to sleep in, this is an awesome mod for those who just like pets in general. Swamp expansion. Next up is a mod that expands on some of the vanilla biomes, which is specifically the swamp biome. I've been working on some biome expansion mods personally recently, so this mod is one that I think is really cool. This mod aims to improve the boring swamp biomes in the game by adding new content to it. There's a new wood type which replaces the swamp oaks with a new willow wood. There's a new creature which is the slabfish that you can befriend and store items on it with a backpack. There's cattails and large mushrooms too, along with mud pools and new mud bricks, and many more swamp creatures which have been added to the biome. Bountiful. This mod is for those who love the art of hunting down enemies and lawbreakers. Bountiful is a mod that brings the bounty board block which adds bounties into the game. Basically these bounty boards will spawn in the villages in the world, which will then generate bounties inside them which are on pieces of paper. You can do tasks like killing creepers or obtaining iron ingots or other items for the rewards listed on each bounty. Once you complete a bounty, you return it to the bounty board and right click on it to redeem the rewards from it. An item called a decree in the mod decides which bounty types will show up. For an example, an armor smithing decree makes objectives related to armor show up on the bounty board. 3 different decrees can be active at once to filter which bounty quest types will show, and it will mix and match all of these different objective types together depending which ones you select. Bloodmoon. A feature very similar to Terraria's Bloodmoon, this mod adds a brand new lunar event to the game called the Bloodmoon, where during each night in game there's a 5% chance that a blood moon will happen. During this period, monsters will spawn much faster and more frequently, as well as even closer to the player. All of the blood moon events apply only to monsters above the surface, so if you're lucky to be in a cave during this event, you won't be affected much by it. You can't sleep through a blood moon event, so you have to lock up indoors and survive through the night, so it's important that you make sure you have a house or shelter when it happens, unless you're super unlucky and it happens at the start of your game. This mod's pretty configurable. You can change the percentage chance of the blood moon happening, you can change whether you have the ability to sleep through it, and also you have the ability to make all monsters vanish at dawn when the blood moon starts to disappear. During a blood moon event, the sky and the light from the sky will be tinted more red, and there's a lot of black fog around which makes it harder to see, as well as the moon being changed into a red colour. This is a nice little spooky mod which you can add to bring more of a horror element to the game and to make things a little bit tougher. Inventory pets. Another pet themed mod for those who want some form of a companion in their world, the Inventory Pets mod adds some animated living creatures in the game that exist within the player's inventory that grant special effects to them like defenses, buffs, item drops, and more bonuses when you feed each pet. There's 52 total awesome and unique pets, all with different tricks, skills, or abilities in this mod that benefit the player and look really cool. A lot of these pets are based off a lot of the pre-existing mobs already in the game, and small cuter versions of them, but there's also a few fresh new ones added too. Number 10, Witchery. A mod that adds the world of Witchcraft and Witchery into Minecraft to explore and to learn and wield the magical arts of natural magic. In the mod there are multiple branches or types of witchcraft for new players to try out. There's no wands or spellbooks or fancy types of enchanted gear within this mod, but there is the essence of farming to yield ingredients to create these magical spells. There's different paths depending which side of the coin you want to be on and what your story will be. For an example, you can be a good witch or a bad witch that uses the dark side by bargaining with demons and using summoning rituals. The mod lets you create a witch garden to grow mythical crops and flowers, brew with kettles, use voodoo dolls to inflict pain on targets, enter the spirit world dimension, partake in necromancy and demonology magic, mutations, familiars such as having animal pets as companions, witch covens meaning groups of witches or clans that you can join or be part of, the ability to become both a werewolf or vampire, making the fantasy world more diverse and immersive, and there's the addition of brand new mobs, plants, and also plant type mobs to the game. This mod is super expansive and worth checking out for anyone who loves magic and the world of fantasy. Howling Moon. This one is a mod specifically designed around werewolves, and it allows players to actually become werewolves. The reason to become a werewolf is to have increased stats and heightened senses, as well as increased speed, agility, and strength. Depending upon how you prey on your enemies, you will become more powerful and have stronger abilities which are based upon savagery, but it also comes at a cost. Werewolves eat only meat during their transformation form and mainly hunt like wolves at night time. In order to actually become a werewolf in the Howling Moon mod, the player needs to seek out an alpha wolf which will spawn in the same biomes and locations as other wolf mobs do during the night, and then they need to get attacked by it, which will in turn infect the player and allow the transformation into a werewolf during the full moon the following night. Alternatively, the Savage Potion item can be spawned and consumed in creative mode to emulate the same effect and to skip the process. Werewolves are granted a brand new menu that lets them view stats and change their appearance and access their abilities easily. There's also a craftable lycanthropy guide that teaches everything about the mod and the features in game. Dragon mounts too. When you defeat the Ender Dragon and loot the mysterious Ender Dragon egg, you may wonder what you are supposed to possibly do with it. Well, that's where the Dragon Mount mod comes in handy. Basically, you place this special piece of loot on the ground and right click it. Usually in vanilla Minecraft, placing or destroying the egg will either make it teleport or just do nothing, and it's fairly useless. However, in this mod, after a slight period of time has passed, the egg will actually hatch into a baby dragon. The dragon will naturally grow without intervention, and it can be eventually charmed and tamed using a piece of raw fish. When it's tamed, it will perform in a similar fashion to other pets do, such as wolves and cats, and it will follow and protect the player. Using bones, you can also train them to sit in place by themselves and to be obedient. There's many different types of dragons in this mod though, not just the Ender Dragon. They come in many different colours which are spawned out of the method of how you hatch the egg. For example, water dragons hatch in pools of water, and fire dragons hatch in pools of lava, but there's many more types which are the ghost dragon, ice dragon, air dragon, nether dragon, and also the forest dragon. This is a great mod for dragon lovers and those that feel like there's something missing with the Ender Dragon in vanilla Minecraft and the vanilla egg system, which is basically non-existent. Astral Sorcery. This mod is based around harnessing the immense powers of starlight and space sorcery and the exploration of the sky above and strengthening yourself through brand new astral powers. There's a journal guide in game that lets you learn about all the features if you want to become a sorcerer. Most of the mod's content content and powers in this mod are accessed at night time, and there are new shrines of marble that are scattered around the world, some housing huge floating crystals that allow you to begin the journey in the mod. These shrines have items called constellation papers and marble that both need to be collected at the beginning of the journey, and loot such as ender pearls. These items can be placed in a crafting tome to unlock discovery of new spells and more abilities. There's a nice advancement system in this mod to develop yourself, and it's worth testing out for yourself. The Lost Cities. This is perhaps one of my favourite world generation type mods out there, and I've featured it once before on my channel. The Lost Cities mod is a custom world generator that spawns you in an old abandoned city world with vast skyscrapers and countless buildings spanning for miles. The cityscape covers the majority of the whole map, with a gigantic interconnected city via bridges and roads or pathways stretching almost forever. This mod is perfect for any kind of modern survival experience, or for a zombie apocalypse playthrough with mods or on a mod pack. The partially destroyed city has highways, tunnels, bridges, a subway system, and many dungeons scattered throughout. But one of the coolest features of this mod, which I only actually noticed recently, is the fact that you can further customize the generation per world. For an example, you can spawn biosphere-like world maps, wasteland maps in the desert, and arid maps, as well as many different kinds such as floating island cities. This mod is one of the best world generation mods, and the fact that you have so many different generation types makes every map semi-unique and fun and a fresh new experience. Vampirism. Another mod I've made a video on before. The Vampirism mod is really unique and had to take a place on this list. Basically, it adds new rituals that allow you to become a vampire in Minecraft and level up and be more powerful. You can acquire heightened senses and become faster, better, stronger, and have abilities such as night vision, although you are hindered by the sun during the day. You feed from animals or villagers in the mod, and there's a system for the villagers where you can overtake a village and take it under vampire control, or some villages are already operated by vampire hunters who guard them from vampires. You can be a vampire or a hunter, and you pick a side of the coin that your destiny lies under. There's a nice advancement system and many different entities and machines to use in this mod, and there's a useful little power wheel when you're a vampire that lets you access all of your abilities and powers. Most enemy vampires spawn with a leader in a pack or a group in a brand new dark foggy biome, which is added to the world. If you like vampires or want a spooky RPG experience, this mod may be for you. Vampires in this mod are fast, strong and bloodthirsty, and they hate the sun, preferring the night, but you can actually become one using this mod, offering all of their benefits but also their drawbacks. You first have to be bit by one or manually inject the blood, both giving you the effect of sanguinaire vampiris, which will eventually make you turn. If you don't want to become one, you can actually become a hunter and fight off those evil creatures of the night by utilizing a range of special weaponry. As a vampire, you can feed from either animals or villagers, starting off very weak, but as you perform rituals and level up and acquire new powers, you can become faster and stronger, and through using skill points you can unlock things like night vision or transform into a bat or teleport, but you have to live from damage from the sun during the day or facing hunters. Alternatively, as a hunter, you can use crossbows and other useful weapons to aid you in combat, collecting items and fighting strong vampires as you explore the world and level up to unlock advanced hunting skills and abilities, and even use some of their powers to help defeat them. The new vampire biome is a dark and foggy one where you'll find most of the creatures, where they can actually thrive and not take any sun damage. Since villagers are the main target and prey, hunters will actually protect the villagers, and if the villagers attacked, the villagers might actually band together and grab pitchforks and become hunters themselves. DivineRPG. The DivineRPG is more like a mod pack than just an RPG mod, just because it's so huge and massive and adds so much to the game. It's a difficult RPG mod that brings a challenge and a huge adventure to Minecraft with new dimensions to explore. There's tons of weapons, brand new armor pieces and tools added in this mod, and a whole lot of blocks, as well as around 115 brand new mobs, which is crazy for a singular mod. You naturally progress through a bunch of new dimensions, starting first in the vanilla ones, the Nether and the End, end, and then moving on to bigger and better things. There's 5 or 6 new dimensions with countless new mobs and content to explore, and this mod is perhaps one of the best RPG mods out there. There's simply too much to cover in only a few minutes, which is why you need to check this one out. Better questing. There hasn't been a good solution to quests in Minecraft for a long time, and the vanilla game has been lacking in that regard, perhaps because it isn't actually an RPG game, it's just a survival game. Well, the better questing mod basically gives you the tools and editors to make custom quests, such as tasks for the player to do or large storylines across the world. This mod is mainly focused on mod pack creators though, who want to add more content to their mod pack by utilising the mods they have on offer. It's more of a complicated mod, but it serves its purpose and it's really awesome as it has party features, themes, quest completion notifications, and a whole lot more complicated features to edit tasks and make new quests in the game. ViesCraft Airships. This mod brings the ability to create new customizable airships to Minecraft that can be upgraded. These things consume fuel to power them, which makes them a little more realistic, and there's a brand new enhancement system for upgrades. You can modify the colour and appearance, and there's so much to do when exploring. You can enhance the stats of your airship, give it a unique name and different particles to make it look better, change the skin of the frames and the display symbols, and do a few more things to make it look much cooler. Who doesn't want to cruise the skies in fashion in Minecraft? It makes exploring completely fresh when you're not walking, and it allows you to explore Minecraft from entirely new heights. Corail Tombstone. The Corail Tombstone is another mod I've looked into before, but it's a useful little mod that solves the issue of losing items upon your death. If you've ever died down in a mine or somewhere completely away from spawn, you may have been frustrated that you couldn't locate your items anymore, or that you wished you knew where your body was. Well, the Corail Tombstone mod prevents the loss of items by keeping them in a brand new grave block. When you are defeated, you are granted a new grave key that shows you the path to your grave so you can locate your items. This key can be upgraded to make finding or locating the grave quicker, such as by teleporting straight to it. There's also scrolls that can be crafted and used to be activated with grave souls. It's a simple mod that serves its purpose well and solves a whole big problem and annoyance that's in the game right now. MCDoom. This mod is based upon the Doom game franchise, and its purpose is to add many different demon types to the game, along with many different variants of weaponry. You can utilise over a dozen different weapons here, and go head to head with up to 50 different demons in this mod, and wear north of 20 plus different armour sets. This mod is fairly lore friendly to Minecraft, as it will spawn many of these demonic entities within the nether dimension, which is in place of hell. Every creature within this mod is very finely detailed too, with high quality 3D models with impressive looking textures that fit well into the Minecraft art style, without being too hyper detailed like some mods, for an example Lycanite's mobs. If you want to become the Doomslayer in Minecraft, this is probably the mod for that. Mayruz's progressive difficulty. The focus of this mod is to make the game far more difficult after reaching certain milestones, a concept which is inspired by similar mechanics within the game Terraria. Difficulty will also scale with regional difficulty, aka the pre-existing difficulty option that you'll find in vanilla, in order to retain the Minecraft style. The game progress is divided into 3 different sections: normal mode, expert mode, and master mode. The normal mode initiates from the beginning, expert mode starts when you venture to the nether or other mods dimensions, and master mode begins after the defeat of the Ender Dragon boss. Some of the new mechanics include new groups of enemies that appear in groups with one leader and followers who will attack and come to their aid, some with weapons and armor, a new raid called the Undead Army which begins after defeating a certain number of undead mobs, and this has 3 to 5 waves and it will scale in difficulty over time, rewarding the player with a treasure bag. It will be tougher depending on the number of players present. The treasure bags can be acquired from fishing, Elder Guardians, the Wither, and the Ender Dragon, giving 1 to each player and having up to 8 possible drops of different rarities. Bleeding is now something animals and humans can do, doing damage progressively over time, like through poison, and it requires using the new bandage items to heal. You can bleed from being bitten by spiders, touching cacti, or receiving sword damage. For endgame, you can also acquire end shards from ore that's made into end ingots. This is used to upgrade netherite armor and tools. These generate within end stone and within end structures, with each crafted tool and armor piece having unique abilities. You can use the End Shard Locator, a loot drop, to locate them more easily. Relics. Adding 25 different relics to the game, all with unique and useful mechanics to aid in battles against hordes of monsters, or for leading a peaceful life as a farmer or a miner, this mod adds relics found within dungeons, ones appropriate for their purpose and design, with some generating only within desert temples, villager houses, or abandoned mineshafts for an example. The mod has flexible customizability to configure it. This lets you change it to your liking, and it's perfect for adding to mod packs, mainly since you can customize the generation chance of each item in loot chests, or all of the characteristics and effects that they will yield. Enigmatic Legacy. This mod offers a purpose of providing tools to help you in exploring, as well as new resources, powerful gear pieces and ancient relics to reward you for seeking out valuable areas of the world. This mod aims to expand upon vanilla through the addition of new tools, weapons, armor, dungeon loot, potions, enchantment manipulations, inventory management features and more. Using the Curios API mod, this mod offers a lot of accessories in the form of things like rings and charms, but it also has scrolls and spellstones, as well as more other unique offerings. The mod supports a range of new advancements that will serve as an indicator to your progress throughout your mod, and it will celebrate your achievements and challenges tackled, with all of the recipes being unlockable through the recipe book, and most items having an enhanced tooltip when shift hovering over them. Blue Skies. This one was suggested to me by a viewer, and it's a mod that's an adventure survival one which brings new aspects ranging from dimensions, dungeons and more in a light and dark scenario. With a new update population that adds new blocks, items, biomes, mobs, and 2 new dungeons, it's pretty fitting to feature this mod now. Blue Skies introduces 2 dimensions, the first being the Everbright and the second being the Everdawn, including many mobs across these 2 worlds, with each dimension having its own personal theme, the Everbright being very bright, snowy and cold, and the Everdawn being warmer but typically darker. Each of these 2 worlds has 2 different dungeons to explore, totaling up to 4 and more planned for the future. First, you must seek a Gatekeeper mob, which is found in the plains, mountains and snowy biomes. You can then trade for a book to get his journal for more information on the new mobs and worlds. You can trade with him to get the Zeal Lighter, which lets you complete the portal frame that you'll find nearby. The portal frame could be one for either of the 2 worlds and it's based on luck. The blue journal item that you acquire from him has everything that you'll need to learn about the mod, and it's very useful as a personal resource. This mod is extremely extensive and it's definitely one that I plan to release a full mod showcase of its features sometime in the near future. Origins. The Origins mod is an amazing mod in which you choose a so-called origin in order to begin your game with special abilities, some helping you out and others hindering you in your gameplay. Think of the Origins mod as an alternate life mod like those found in Skyrim, where you can be another race or class with certain modifiers that will affect your game and make every playthrough unique and different. The currently present Origins total to 9, and these are the Enderian, Merling, Phantom, Elytrian, Blazeborn, Avian, Arachnid, Shulk and Feline. The Elytrian spawns with Elytra by default, and the Feline doesn't take fall damage for an example. All cool bonuses, meaning that every single one of these classes gives you certain perks and downsides. The reason for this mod and why it's so great and very popular though is because you can very easily make your own origins and classes through either data packs or extension mods, making it super customizable and powerful and very extendable. Artifacts. Through the addition of brand new powerful items in various forms, this mod lets you gain abilities through new items which are found in vanilla structures within loot chests, with most of these artifacts only being able to be found in select chests, making exploring crucial. There's also a new underground campsite structure that's been added too, in which mimics, aka fake chests that are dangerous mobs, sometimes spawn here, although they will actually drop artifacts anyway when you kill them. Each item added through this mod has a unique model which will display when equipped, and many of them look really awesome, like the leprechaun hat or the diving flippers. Wither skeleton tweaks. Sometimes seeking out wither skeletons and farming the skulls is a little annoying in the base game. Using this mod, Wither skeleton tweaks, you'll discover that farming those skulls and searching for the skeletons in general is a much easier task now. Any wither skeleton that doesn't drop a skull will actually now drop a fragment, letting you use 9 of them to make a full skull in the game. Along with this, any skeleton spawning within the nether will now be a wither skeleton, keeping their original weapon like their bows, but now also being able to drop the loot that you've actually been seeking. You'll notice trash items like damaged stone swords or bows will now not drop from wither skeletons, and this also includes from strays and normal ones. The mod also adds a new weapon, the Immolation Annihilation Blade, which is a sword causing instant death and beheading for all of the skeleton type creatures, with 2 variants being available, but only differing in their appearance and their recipe. Apotheosis. This mod is all about the things that should have been, all ideas from the creator to expand and improve upon the vanilla experience while staying true to it. This is done through adding all new potions, enchantments, new potential dangers and mechanics. To learn more, you should craft the Chronicle of Shadows book in order to read into the mod. The enchantment system is overhauled now too, adding new enchantments and letting you be more powerful due to the less limitations and restrictions placed on it. The 3 new stats affect the enchantment system: Eterna, controlling the enchantment table, Quanta, affecting how much flux is in the process, and Arcana, determining how hard rare enchantments are now to acquire. Through the new enchantments, you can become increasingly more powerful than what was possible before. Anvils also now have no limit to their level and they're enchantable, receiving Unbreaking, Splitting and Obliteration, some being new enchants. Bosses will now spawn in the world underground and in caves. They have custom RPG style names with potion effects, full armor and weapons or tools, and they drop a special item which is based on themselves, which usually has enchants on it and some kind of backstory or lore. There's some really awesome other features in this mod too, mainly that relate to improvements upon spawners, villagers, potions and farming. It's a really extensible mod which adds a real cool array of different components into the game. And that's going to conclude the top RPG and adventure mods. Please do let me know below which of these 10 ones which I covered were your favourite and why that is, and let me know any which I missed and did not feature in this too. YouTube says 97% of you are not subscribed, so if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications and slap the like button for more Minecraft mod videos like this one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.